picks wider holes in the ripped vinyl chairs. She's hoping to catch her friend stopping by the coffee shop in nostalgia or apology. It would be very like her friend, except, of course, it isn't. She calls the wife again. No answer, and then months later, the number is changed. She stops by the apartment, and the doorman is always apologetic, sympathetic, if embarrassed. Eventually, her friend has moved. The doorman is clearly relieved. He's all but washing his hands of her. The white gloves move imperceptibly. The doorman thinks, he heard from another tenant, that the friend and her wife moved uptown. During the school holiday concert, her ex tells her, he heard from a co-op cashier, that the friend and her wife moved to a small Midwestern town. He has dyed his gray hair a dark, obvious brown, and his terrible beige pants match the terrible beige chairs, and with sudden tenderness, she wishes they were still married. The butcher tells her, he heard from another customer, that the friend and her wife moved to a suburb of the city. She has not asked the butcher to volunteer this information. She grabs the crisp white paper and heads home to cry over the porcoin wrapped inside. She calls all their mutual friends. She has been too ashamed before to do this, feeling sure they will blame her for the break. But now, 6 months on, she is too distraught to care. The mutual friends have not heard from the friend or the wife in months. The mutual friends have not seen the children in their children's Montessori school. The mutual friends have not seen the homemade soaps at the usual retailers lately. Her sweater always smelled like lilac and jasmine and sandalwood after visiting her friend. Now they smell of exhaustion, of thin threads. She does not, she realizes, has never known the family of the friend. She cannot call or email them to ask. She is not a lover, so she cannot track them down with some great passion. So now the breadcrumbs, few as they were, have been eaten. The trail is tundra cold. Her friend, it seems, has left the city, or at least she has left the parts of the city she formerly haunted. The divorced friend drifts for months, a year, watches old movies during nights filled with half-sleep. She hasn't been this dumb, this ghostly since she was pregnant. She mourns and does not mourn. She wonders but does not search. And then, one night, she makes a decision. She deletes her texts from the friend who is gone. She deletes her emails. She deletes the photos on Facebook and Instagram. She erases her voicemails. She tells her small daughter that Aunt Friend was imaginary. Then the coffee shop closes. In her late 30s, the friend is a little more unhappy than before. But no matter, and no more than most people who live in the city. You won't believe what really happened to the Sabine women. After the attack, we pulled ourselves shut like hospital curtains. Snap. They out there, we in here. Pain distilled through tiny wires and tubes. Pain concealed and compressed until someone has great need of it, until it becomes a gift. History will tell you we made quick peace with our rapists, bore them children, married them. History will tell you how we launched ourselves into the battle like burning arrows, how we landed between kin and assaulters. History will tell you we united Rome. History likes to lie about women. What really happened was this. When we saw our men at war, we almost went out like candles. It's easy to shrink yourself down when anger burns through you, hot, fierce, like a grass fire. It sucks the oxygen out. It eats up all but the most essential parts: heart, lungs, brain, blood. Everything else diminishes, shadows itself, clears out disease. To shrink after anger is such a relief. To run toward oblivion, a slaking of dark thirst. And Demeter saw us scrambling in her fields like mice and took pity on us. For had she not been assaulted by Poseidon, forced, despite all her powers, to bear his twins? She knew what it is to carry the weight of so much rage. And so she pulled us into her arms, up with the soil and grass, and she scattered us through the skies as stars, shimmering and immortal in the night skies. And for thousands of years, when men looked at the skies, our husbands, our sons, our grandsons, and so on for many generations.